and welcome back to the Role Players Guild.
Hello.
Woo! Alright, we are in for an exciting finale of Murder on the Eberron Express and transitioning into the full campaign, which is called Dream Dealers of Fairhaven. I found it.
Hey.
Alright, without further ado, we will get this going to the DM. I am Beluga, your guildmaster here at the Role Players Guild, and I am playing Fist, the dwarf barbarian monk. Falcon, passing it to you. Monk. Falcon, passing it to you. Laura, this is your warning.
All right. I'm Falcon. I'm a member of the Role Players Guild, and I currently play Xylek, the level 5 nature cleric, stars druid. There we go. Nature cleric, stars druid, lizard folk. Laura, it's up to you.
It's me.
Yep.
Hi. I'm just a little guy, a little robot guy named Gilzath, and I'm a rogue. And now it's B's turn.
Hi, I'm B. You can't see me, and that's honestly probably for the best. But that's also because my internet goes to hell whenever I try to stream with my face. So, try to stream showing my face, not try to stream with my face. Hopefully that made sense. I play... Wait, who do I play? I play Justice. He is the 7th level Oath of the Crown half-orc paladin. And, Scott, you should go.
This is Tiny, who is playing Elspeth, the half-elf storm sorceress.
Tiny!
She is much better than I am at these sorts of games, so I let her make all the decisions. Which is why it's Jason's turn.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well then, it's been a long train ride, y'all. Welcome to another exciting, action-packed, adventure-filled episode of Dungeons and Dragons. My name is Jason. I will be your guide to the light. And tonight, you brave and perhaps foolish adventurers have found yourselves on a train, a light rail as it is called, where you have been racing towards the city of Fairhaven. But there has been a mystery on board. There has been a murder. And last week, things kind of came to a head. Strange things began happening. Everybody began acting all weird, and there was some violence that was carried out. The fun started when everyone woke up in the morning, and a gentleman named Egan Backer had been murdered in his cabin. There was an investigation that came about. And as it turns out, he was traveling with an entire cohort of individuals, with a whole group of people who literally everybody hated him. Everybody kind of had and as things began to unravel, a deeper mystery began to take hold. We now go to the first class car, where Elspeth, Fist, and I think just the two of you, right, have been engaged in combat, where you have just recently dispatched two individuals, two people who supposedly were normal humans or normal humanoids, and however, they became violent. They began acting erratic, and when they attacked you, they quickly popped. Right? And who remembers what happened who remembers what they witnessed when that happened?
I have a whole page written down
Hey.
somewhere.
Right on.
Guy.
Nice.
It's somewhere here.
To be clear, this is when Fist and Elspeth attacked, just to make sure that I'm, thinking of this right.
Yes.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Yep.
Justice breaks enchantment, then passenger gets possessed. Fight continues. Passenger gets subdued, but again, they seem exceptionally strong. Passenger continues to struggle and fight. Tries. Oh wait, no, this was between Justice.
That was us.
Yeah, that was us.
Yeah.
Elspeth
Mhm.
attempts to destroy Lucidia Stone. Attempt succeeds, causing both Terriana and Passenger to faint. Passenger body breaks apart and same ghostly spirit seeps out of Passenger, again with blue eyes. We are the dark.
Mhm.
We are the dreamers. Your world will be ours. Words spoken from the released spirit.
Okay. And heard by Elsbeth.
Yes.
Okay, and that's where we left off. Earlier on, there was an explosion that was heard in one of the rear cars, and the train drew to a halt. And that situation kind of has got a number of passengers kind of concerned. Will we make it to their destination on time? As you all kind of begin to kind of try to take note of what's happening around you, trying to observe, you do hear a bit of a commotion coming from outside the train. There's like there's kind of a deep whirring, and that kind of sounds. And Elsbeth, you have a perfect recollection of this sound. It is the sound of an airship approaching. Actually, multiple airships. And as you glance out the window, you see a number of these airships approaching. It appears to be a support crew to try and get the train back up and running. Okay. Good. We'll pass it to the players. We'll start with Elspeth, actually. Elspeth, tell us what you're up to.
So I hear and see then my my own Dragon Mark house here to do something with this train.
Looks like representatives from. It looks like a mixed group, actually. It looks like Techno. Am I pronouncing that right?
You're twanging.
Yeah, pronouncing what right here?
And also looks like authoritative figures. Lerender, the Dragon Mark house that handles transportation.
Yeah, they do the ships and then house. So I've already melted my brain. The other house does the trains.
Okay. Right. So it looks like groups from both houses, and it looks like a security detachment as well of some kind. And they're beginning to kind of they look like they're starting to kind of rappel down from these airships, and then and starting to kind of look at what happened with the train. And some of them are beginning to board the train.
Was there like a ladder up to the roof? Did I see one when we went between either the cars or in the engine car?
You might have to look for it a little bit. It looks like it's you didn't see anything, nothing real apparent that you saw. And you're gathering probably make a quick let's just do a quick intelligence check. Okay. So you're pretty sure that there's a hatch somewhere or an access way. They likely hide that because they probably don't want that kind of thing in plain sight. You're thinking it would probably be either between cars, maybe in the passageways between, or perhaps hidden by a compartment or hidden by even a magic spell. It would be on top of the roof there.
Okay. Problem is. Yeah, the problem is Elspeth is impatient and doesn't think like that, if you know what I mean. So
Okay.
She is going to go into the space between this cart and the engine. And she is going to she's going to cast Gust of Wind on herself, basically
Okay.
going directly up,
Ooh.
and combine that with Tempestuous Magic to just
Okay.
fly 10 feet up onto the top of the train.
Okay. All right. And then, sorry, quick pause. Is my camera image, am I flipped sideways?
You're vertical,
No, not
like you
yet.
should be.
Like I should be? Okay. Because on my screen, on my iPad, I'm like tilted, but I won't worry about it. So hopefully, let me know if that goes, if that messes up somehow. Okay. So Elsbeth, kind of on the top of the train. I don't have a map for this real quick, but I can kind of describe the scene that you see. You do see multiple individuals, multiple people coming, kind of dropping and repelling from these airships, and they're landing kind of around the train. You see technicians kind of going to work, and some of them are, most of them are kind of clad in the different housing, in the different Dragon Mark houses apparel. They're technicians. They're working very quickly to get the train back up and running, but you do see a couple of security people who look like they might be from the Fairhaven City Watch, maybe like a larger authoritative group. Hard to say at this point.
Okay, and they're all coming on down onto this?
Yeah, and they're starting to go to work on this train. They're holding a lot of them, they're kind of holding these big tool sets and stuff like that, and starting to analyze and look at stuff, and starting to, disconnect and reconnect pieces to get it up and running again. You can kind of hear like and the rest of you kind of hear this as well. You hear like this big whirring and clanking of large machines kind of starting to fire up again and work. You kind of get a sense that the train is starting to get repaired.
Oh, well. She will at least see, because I think she should be able to just pretty much flag down one of the people who's from her house, who should be identified somehow in livery or with something, I would assume, from Lyrander.
Okay.
And pretty much go, don't know what this is all about, but I could drive the train. It's not that hard.
Okay. All right. So one of them kind of approaches you, and kind of motions back for their supervisor or leader or whoever it is to their attention to you. And there's a communication between the two, probably something to the effect of, this person thinks they can drive the train. And they kind of step to you and say, "What happened?"
At which point?
They kind of look at each other and look at the train and said, "When did the train stop? Do you know what happened? Why it stopped?"
My assumption is that's the bomb. It was a bomb. There was also a murder, another murder, and then some what I would not call murders, but definite incidents. Mortalities?
Huh. Okay. They kind of look at each other, and they kind of exchange knowing glances, I guess, and move back and say, "We'll get the train up and running. If we need a driver, we'll let you know."
I think all you need to do is release the brakes. From there,
That's a
it's
possibility.
not that difficult. The elemental is cooperative.
Mm-hmm. And they kind of take that. They kind of give you that, almost like a dismissive, "Oh, we'll look into it. We'll see what we can do." It's kind of like that situation when the repair person arrives and you know exactly what's wrong, but they want to look everything over 100% anyway.
I'm gonna
So-
power cycle the elemental. Yeah, got it.
Damn it, Scott! I was
Right.
hoping you wouldn't say that.
That's right. Can I just restart it? Right. Yeah, so they kind of go about their business and begin looking, and crawling all around the train. You can see them kind of starting to board as well. It's kind of different technicians and whatnot moving about. Within not too much of a within what seems moments, you kind of feel the train cars begin to kind of hover once again, and it looks like it might be operational again. One of them approaches you, and let me see. One of them approaches you, Elspeth, and says, "Meet me down below if you would. We have questions."
Down below, anyone in particular, or
And he seems kind of impatient. He's like, "Yeah, anywhere on board the train and not on top of it."
that's fine.
And he kind of moves. He kind of moves towards one of the ladders, and quickly begins to kind of maneuver inside one of the windows.
Are the ladders easier to spot from the top of the train?
Yeah, you can see some access ladders.
Okay. Then Elspeth will in fact use one of those to get back down, rather than
Right
jump
on.
however far and try not to break her legs.
Right on. Okay. Good. Let me bring in a couple of these tokens. Like so. And just a couple of these individuals are trying to kind of move around the train, but this one in particular, speaks and just kind of begins questioning you about what happened and what it was you witnessed. Okay. All right, good. Fist, looking over this body, seeing all this commotion. One of the people kind of who dropped from the sky essentially comes over to look at it and just kind of begins examining what happened. Stian just kind of starts examining, then looks up and sees that you served the queen.
Mm-hmm. This is one of the authoritative figures, not one of the house members, right?
Yeah, it just looks. Yeah, it's one of the security.
Yeah.
One of the security people, and it looks like they're probably affiliated with the city of Fairhaven,
Okay.
since the train had kind of reached their jurisdiction, not necessarily sent from directly from from the Queen's Guard or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like maybe Fairhaven City Watch, possibly, or something like a detachment that handles stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. She's going to explain about the murder on board, and she'll point to the room that the murder victim actually is. This person should only be knocked out. She was using non-lethal force. So
They look down.
Yeah.
They look down at the corpse and see how it's been split open. It says, "I'd say it's a little more than knocked out."
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
spirit-
then I
when the
will.
spirit came out, it cracked out, right? Like it had just been an empty shell of something.
Yeah.
Okay, so I misunderstood what had happened. So yeah, scratch that
that's all right.
part.
Yeah, you were attempting non-lethal damage, and when that happened, this person just kind of split open, and that was when you saw this weird spirit thing kind of float out of it and disappear, right?
Said I'd take
Yeah,
your non-lethal damage and raise you. I killed myself.
Yeah, you know,
Right.
the split head I gave him kind of just expanded.
Huh.
So yeah, she's going to explain how mysteriously, the spirit or whatever kind of like cracked out of this human shell.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. So as you explain that, there's just kind of it's just kind of you're expecting, this person to be kind of surprised, I guess, maybe, or how it's just kind of odd. But they just kind of begin asking questions. How hard did you hit them?
How hard did I hit them? Only for 1d6 worths of damage.
Okay.
She's like, I wasn't using lethal force. I thought I had only knocked them out, but then they kind of split open themselves.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate your report. Kind of backs off a little bit. Kind of thinks about what to do for a moment, and then kind of walks back and begins conversing, kind of talking out the window a little bit with somebody who's kind of hanging out outside. And that's kind of, as you look in the distance, you see another gentleman appear. Steps up through the portal, through the window. They kind of exchange words back and forth, and this one kind of turns and indicates, like they're talking back and forth about what just transpired. Kind of turns and indicates to you, Fist.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like that. You can tell, like, that person, right? And this individual, kind of a stout, kind of a burly dude, a little bit of a dad bod, big red beard, and dashing fine hair, I guess, kind of like the token.
Mm-hmm.
Begins walking towards you. Introduces himself as Salfron. I head up some of these operations for the City Watch. I appreciate you cooperating. I appreciate your report and everything that you endured here. And he says, we're going to get this train. Well, I understand that House Lyrander is going to get this train moving. Not Lyrander, but whichever house it is that runs trains. I understand they're going to get this train up and moving. We should be in Fairhaven by early evening. Are you the leader of your party?
I wouldn't say there is really a leader or much of a party, but I am probably one of the most authoritative figures on this train today.
And Elspeth, hear this?
You're about 5, 10, 15, you're almost 20 feet away from the conversation, so you might be able to hear that. All right. Okay.
There is audible laughter from Elspeth's direction.
He says, I see there may be some disagreement on that. No matter. Will you and your crew meet me in Fairhaven once you arrive? And he gives you the address of of a precinct, which is actually, it looks like the one of the precincts there in Fairhaven for the City Watch.
Certainly.
Thank you. He kind of backs up, and he kind of turns back and says, "You might want to spend the rest of the journey getting some rest." As he kind of goes back and continues to converse with this technician slash security figure. And they kind of continue to kind of work on the train, replacing components, making sure everything is in order. And before long, the train starts moving once again. Let's pass to Xylek. Tell me what you're up to right now.
Well, I would assume I'm just kind of hanging out with the rest of the the other half of the party in the dining car.
What a party.
Okay.
We just dispatched. Oh, you know what I'd be doing? I'm gonna start untying Justice from the hog
Okay.
tie from before.
Okay.
Get him cleaned up and on his feet.
Okay.
And,
My friend
just-
died. That's right.
Well, it was certainly an interesting turn of events. And I'm just gonna. Would I start noticing like all the hubbub of squad cars and airships, all that jazz?
You would. There's quite a bit of personnel moving back and forth. Back and forth on the train. You can kind of feel it every now and then. There's a shift in the car. You can there's a loud clank and it kind of moves, and as it starts to kind of float and whatnot. But yeah.
All right. Perhaps we should get everyone together and see what all this fuss is about.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I agree.
What else?
Oh my god, I'm on push to talk. Holy shit. Okay, I was like, why is nobody responding to me?
Oh.
It's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
No, that was on me. A, I would have made a comment about being hogtied, but B, we can see out the window just fine, right?
Yeah, you can see
Okay.
kind of a commotion and multiple people kind of moving about, working on the train.
And so my response then to Xylek is going to be, I mean, it just looks like train technicians, I guess?
From what I can tell.
So, I mean, sure, I guess if we want to get together with everybody. Are we done investigating? I'm not 100% sure about why we got roped into this, if we're being completely honest.
Good of mine. If I had it my way, I wouldn't have interacted with any of you this entire trip. But
Thank
here we are.
you.
Interesting. Don't you want to know what happened? Find out who had the motivation to kill someone?
No.
I mean, in an academic sense, sure, but I'm not.
It's just
What's that woman's name? Fist? What's her name? What the hell kind of name is that? Anyway, I'm not an enforcer. This is not my wheelhouse, as they say where I'm from. We should probably find everybody else. I gotta talk to Elsbeth. So
Death is just a natural part of the world for me, so I don't really question it whenever I come about.
I mean, sure, but when you shift that world into that of justice and all of that, death, while it exists, is not generally at the hand of people that you normally trust. We call that murder. Yeah, I'm gonna go find you. What?
It's a new notion to me. I've never really heard of the intentional inflict of death, rather than just hunting or catching your food.
I have so many questions, but right now I don't think is the time. And so with that, I will pick up my stuff, kind of rub my wrists where the ropes had bound me, and I'm going to say, I'm going to go and make sure nobody else has gotten into trouble. I just want to get to Fairhaven. So.
Okay. Picking up and moving towards the first class car, right?
Yar.
Robot following you.
The last place that I know Fist was.
Okay. You got it. So, let me switch to that page. There we go. Stepping into that first class car, you can kind of see there's a bit of commotion here and there. Elsbeth and Fist are kind of talking back and forth to some of these technician crew. And before long, they all kind of begin to filter out. But you also see a couple of these guys come out of Egan Backer's room. They kind of step out here, like so, and they're carrying what looks like just suitcases, and maybe like equipment for conducting investigations. It looks like, and you see this guy kind of speak across the room to Fist, saying, "We'll see you in Fairhaven." And they kind of quickly step off the train and move up through one of the ropes or lifts to one of the accompanying airships. And more of these technician people are beginning to kind of disperse.
Hey, Jason?
Yeah.
These people were wearing, like, they weren't associated with one of the houses. They were specifically associated with Fairhaven itself, or the nation.
It looked like a mixed bag. There was people from House Lyrander, airships. There was people from the House. Can't remember.
Orion is the I had to look them up for the lightning rail.
Right, House Orion, for the light rail. And those people are like the technicians and repair people and things like that. And then it looks like there was a detachment of security people of some kind, investigators, and it looks like they were being supervised by this gentleman named Salfron, who appears to be kind of maybe high up in City Watch or something like that.
Did they gather the fragments of the broken Dreaming Stone, or was there an opportunity for Elspeth to grab the broken off chunk of that?
They looked them over. They picked up the largest pieces. They left shards. They left kind of a mess. But yeah, there's still some stuff there on the floor that you might be able to kind of look at.
Yeah, she was going to take that to someone who's maybe smart about these things.
Okay. And they were kind of gathering that in a way that it wouldn't be disturbed. They were kind of, putting it into, in our world, they would be like kind of scooping it into plastic bags like you see on cop shows, right? So to avoid like fingerprints or whatever. But they were doing whatever the Eberron equivalent of that would be, using commonplace magic.
CSI Eberron, hell yeah.
Hated it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That word.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, you're looking to examine what's left?
Oh, she's not going to examine it so much. She's just going to scoop it up to take to someone else to examine.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you're able to gather that up. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then before long, let's kind of calm down a bit. Let's move to Gilzaf. Tell us what you're up to.
Well, coming into the train car behind Justice and Zylak, I saw the people leave with much interest, and then I'm going to come over to Fist here, and I'm going to strike up a conversation about our new guests who came and went, and how exciting that must have been, and what happened, and oh my god, there's a split open body here. What happened?
Right. Okay. And you're asking Fist?
Yes, Fist.
Uh-huh.
Gotcha. She goes, well, I was trying to take down this man, and when I knocked him out, he split open and something came out of him.
You squishy fellows, you are just so, poppable. That's why you should get metal. Much better.
I don't think this was a normal circumstance.
Oh, so if I poke you, you're not going to split up? That's good. Because I don't want that to happen. That would be weird. So what did those people want? Did they start up the train again? Are we going to get to town soon? Did they take the dead body from that room? Because that's not very nice. That's a crime scene.
They are authoritative figures. They are What are they, like, watchmen of Fairhaven?
Looks like they might be affiliated with City Watch,
City Watch.
which
Okay,
is a little
yeah.
odd. Yeah.
They are City Watch of the city of Fairhaven, and they wish to see us all at their headquarters in the city.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All
Well, I have.
Yes.
like all of us, or
all
All
of
of us, or
us.
just.
huh?
Well, I do have somewhere to be as soon as I get to the city. I could maybe put that off to go see the watch, but I do have an appointment that I got to make when I get to town.
Yeah, same. Sorry to butt in. I'll just go back over this way.
You
Join us. We're just having a conversation here. Feel free to join us. We're gossiping about this split open body.
Yeah, I'll
we can't
pass on
afford
that.
to lose ourselves.
And then within a few minutes, you'll kind of show up to kind of clean everything up, gathering up the bodies, all that stuff.
Before they gather up that body, and
Yeah.
while we're talking, can I surreptitiously poke around in his pockets first?
Fist will
Yeah.
stop you.
Okay, that's fair.
You quickly get a notion that Fist is duty bound to stop and to prevent such activities. You might have to be sneaky if you're going to try and pull that off.
Sorry, I'm
Well,
programmed to stop you.
I figured you'd stop me. I just figured I should throw in an attempt there. Just
You kind
Gotta
of get
live up
like
to
a
those names.
slap on the hand.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me.
All right. So yeah, it might have been some cool. Might have found some cool stuff, but your hand is kind of slapped or kind of moved away. You kind of get that sense that Fist would stop you, and they kind of come along and they kind of come along with the body bags and disposal and whatnot. They cast a few spells to kind of begin cleaning the carpets, and and then pretty soon everything kind of is as it was before, and the train begins moving towards your destination to Fairhaven.
So do we know where these little spirit things went? Did they fly out of the train? Did they fly into someone else? Are you going to attack us?
Did we see where they went?
So what you saw, those of you that did see, just saw these your enemies just kind of split open, and you saw like just a personage of spirit kind of emanate, float, rise up, and then just kind of disappear, kind of fade into the background.
Okay. Yeah, they
I,
just sort of dissipated.
Can Gilzaf make like a check to see if he recognizes that from his past at all, like being in the why can't I think of the morning lands?
Yeah, definitely. You could try a history check, try a nature check.
Can I see if this is like perhaps something to relate to undeath, being a cleric of nature and such? See if it's something outside of the realm of
Wait, why don't you roll 2 dice?
Yep.
Would you say that be a religion or nature?
We can do nature. And then Gilzaf, what would your checks come up with?
So I, for some reason, just randomly rolled 2 dice instead of 1. So I was like, I'm scrapping both of those numbers because they were both pretty high, and just rolled another one.
Okay.
Sorry about that. It's a 10.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a 21 religion check. No,
21 religion. Okay.
Nature.
Mine would have been history.
You got it.
Or nature. They're both the same.
Yeah,
for me, so
mine was nature, not religion.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, starting with Gilzaf, you just kind of you you're kind of checking those inner databases, those memory banks and whatnot, and what kind of comes back is just it's some kind of maybe some kind of an aberration. You don't have any real memory of anything that you encountered in the Morning Lands or anything that you'd seen before, but
I do not
it's some
have
kind of an
memory.
aberration. Right. Yeah. And then Xylek. It's just kind of it's definitely not undead. You definitely detect evil. You definitely feel just like an overwhelming presence of something dark and bad. Okay. Let's see. With that, you're kind of set to kind of, yeah. Sorry. I'm getting sick, so my mind is not quite as sharp as it ought to be. But there's one among you who did experience a little bit more, and it was Elsbeth. But if Elsbeth wants to come forward with any info about what they witnessed, we'll let them. But if not, we can move forward on to Fairhaven.
She was going to go into see who was driving the train as soon as it started moving, and there was no one to stop her.
Okay.
So
yeah,
so
sure.
She's not there to offer that input right now.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. Go ahead, Zara.
I'd like to try one thing before we go forward. Having seen that Terriana's body was desiccated and brought away, I'm gonna try to wild shape again. I'm gonna try to turn into a mastiff, see if I can actually access that capability now that that evil spirit is gone.
Okay.
So I'm gonna concentrate and turn into a mastiff like I did before.
Okay. Let's see. Mickey, let's see. Sorry, 1 second. Let me double check. See how long that affected you. Yeah, make a quick constitution check. No, say it.
I'm gonna use physical die. We'll use this green one because of my green scales.
Right on.
Ooh, not bad. 18.
Okay. All right. So it's difficult to remember. It's like you have to kind of think about it for a minute. It's like forgetting somebody's name after years of knowing them fairly well, but it's just somebody you haven't really thought of in a while. Kind of pulling back those details, pulling back those components of that ability, and eventually you're able to kind of put it together, and you can wild shape into a mastiff again.
Oh. You just hear like that big, like heavy sigh of relief come out of a dog's chuff.
Yep.
So my eyes are mechanical in nature and therefore have no expression. But you do sense that there might be, in some sort of realm, little stars in them. And he's looking at you like a normal person would be looking at like a horse.
I boop my snoot against your face and just lie down.
I am 100% going to, if you don't mind, ride you.
Well, I'm gonna lie down. You can sit on top of me if you like, but I'm just gonna lie down and rest for the next hour. It's a big old pup.
There you go.
I now have a
All
steed.
Right.
Not really.
Yep. Some snoot booping and a steed. And it's kind of like this great big dog that just kind of gets played with, or kind of like when a small child lays on a very large dog, and the dog just kind of is just kind of tolerating it, right? Okay. All right. Good. Moving to the engine. Elsbeth kind of stepping in. You see the conductor is gone. Kind of peering into the engine car. It looks like this elemental piece is kind of running on autopilot. It looks like somebody maybe just kind of programmed it to go into Fairhaven and left it be.
Is there anyone in what was once the conductor's cabin?
No. Well, yeah, sorry. Nobody's in the, it doesn't appear that anybody's actually in that car at all. Conductor's cabin seems to be empty. And some of the belongings have been, right? Some of the belongings have been removed. And the body has been removed.
I know Justice at one point was looking for Elspeth when he came back from the back car.
I had assumed that you left, like, before that point.
No, she hadn't left until, like, other stuff was going on, I don't think. But either way, if he was still looking for her, he would find her there.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Sorry, I'm still thinking. Yeah, so if that's the case, then after he kind of pokes his head around and looks, he's going to you're like looking at the elemental driving the train.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna say,
"Yeah,
what are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm looking at how this works."
Let me rephrase my question. Why are you doing that?
There are a few reasons and ways I could answer that. What's your actual question?
Is this investigation over, and or what's the ETA to Fairhaven?
Oh, I don't know either of those things, but I suspect the investigation's done, considering, we've had the crew show up and take away the bodies.
Right, okay, so then let's go back to the other one. What are you doing here again, other than looking at that? He's going to say, pointing at the elemental.
Well, I was wondering if the conductor was dead, and he certainly was, who was driving, and the answer is no one, which means there's a vacancy.
I don't think I like much where this is heading, personally. I'm sure you are very capable, however, you aren't a train conductor, I don't think.
It's not that hard. I already understand how it all works.
How does it all work? Teach the teacher. Or, you know what I'm trying to say.
Really? You think you can...
Try me.
Do you want me to... You might as well ask me to explain you how the storm spies work.
All right. You know what? No, that's off topic and you were trying to deflect. Do you actually know how to drive this thing? Or...
Yes. It's lightning. It's not that difficult.
I don't know much about train conducting or the magic and or science behind all of this. That is also not within my wheelhouse. I have used that phrase a lot tonight. However, I'm thinking that it might be slightly more complicated, and if the train is going fine by itself and nobody seems particularly concerned, maybe this is another time kind of thing.
Well, I will take that under advisement.
Also, my daughter's in Fairhaven, and I don't want to die. No offense, but I would like to be able to get to her on a train that wasn't piloted by somebody who was pretty sure they knew how to drive the train. I would prefer that they were absolutely sure how to drive the train.
What do you think I am exactly?
The former.
Then you would be quite wrong.
I'm not going to bother to insight because regardless, I think you do know how to drive this thing.
All right.
So he's going to do the equivalent of a crucifix, and he's going to say, I'm going to go pour myself a drink then and count down my final hours. We're done with the investigation, right? We know who killed that guy.
Essentially, you do. You don't have all the answers just yet, but
Like, we're all agreed that it was his wife, or whatever was masquerading as his wife. Is that?
Oh, I mean,
There was a wife.
is Justice asking that, or is B asking that?
No, that was Justice asking that as he's leaving.
Okay. That's then Elspeth's response is, probably. It was actually sort of the lot of them, as far as I can tell. There was a whole thing with the rock and, well, splitting bodies, that sort of thing.
Yeah, there was a possession thing going on in there too.
Oh, you noticed?
It happened to me. It wasn't fun.
Oh, but you aren't broken.
No, not in
The
that way.
others sort of erupted.
I think it would take a little more than that to take me down. No, I am fine.
You'd think, however,
Well, I'm gonna go get that drink. He's a simple guy. He's just this is too much for him. So he's gonna go wander off and pour himself a beer if there's not a bartender to do it.
Come on back if you're ever wondering where I am. I'll be here.
Noted.
And it is just that moment where it's a little bit of a shaky situation, a little unnerving, seeing Elspeth kind of staring at the control. Elspeth staring at the controls. Like, yeah, I got that. I know what I'm doing. And but hopefully Elspeth knows what she's doing. Good. So shortly thereafter, eventually, the city of Fairhaven appears on the horizon. The train kind of moves into that station. Let's see. Is there anything anybody needs to do or take care of before we get off this crazy train?
Does Elspeth drive it at any point? I need to know this, just for will and future estate planning.
I also need to know this.
Yeah, what exactly do you do in there, Elspeth?
Well, that depends. When she went to figure out how it worked and she probed at it with sorcerousness, it was a nat 20 on the Arcana.
It sure was.
So she knows what lightning is. She is, in fact, very good with lightning, and she knows how to talk to air elementals, or storm elementals.
Mm-hmm. So with that high level of confidence and high level of awareness, do you see yourself, moving levers and pushing pedals?
I think she considers physical controls, unless they're specific. Well, she will note if they are specifically labeled.
Uh-huh.
She will not turn down an obvious instruction booklet. But
Okay.
otherwise, she thinks that they are for amateurs who lack the special talent.
Okay. Right.
So she is most likely to just try and connect directly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And once again, it is that kind of a high level of confidence, of a connection. You kind of have this mind meld or whatever with this it's elemental driving the train, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like that moment where you you get to go up and sit with the pilot, right? And you know all the controls, you know all the things.
Does she get like tiny wings, like a little kid would on an airplane?
Ooh.
Can you go in the conductor's cabin and see if he has any of those? Just for
Right.
curiosity. And definitely not pinning one onto my metal body.
If Justice does go in there looking to see what Elspeth is up to, I assume he sees her just basically like in a trance with lightning coming out of her eyes. So
just imagine the "This Is Fine" meme, but put a half orc there where there's the dog and a bunch of lightning. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Anyway,
Yeah,
do I kill everyone?
Sure do. No,
Sorry, guys.
you're not. Sorry.
Strahd
Not
next
those
week.
people.
Hey, you know
Right,
that story about that train that never stops running and it just goes around the tracks and it never
Oh,
gets
it's
to where
Sire 1313. That's what we are now.
It just keeps going. It just keeps
origin
going.
story? Because I got it.
There you go.
I have
No,
a,
you do see. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I have a backup character ready.
If the train does. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious if Elspeth's going to actually try anything. Try to pilot the train entirely, or just going to work through the elemental.
Oh, if like, yeah, she is gonna try.
Okay.
Like she.
Okay.
Actually, hang on.
Hang on. That's a hold my beer moment.
Yeah.
While you're doing
He's
that,
trying.
Justice is going to pass by everybody and is going to say, "Yeah, Elspeth's trying to drive the train, and we're probably going to die." As he
yeah.
goes to get a drink.
Right?
With that, Fist is gonna go inspect.
Okay. Insight. Okay. Doing insight on Fist. Sorry, Justice.
No, I mean, I'm going to go to the front of the
okay.
train and inspect what Elsbeth is doing.
Okay. Yeah, peering through that doorway, you're there just in time to see Elsbeth just kind of connecting with there's just this, Elsbeth kind of has her hands kind of outstretched. There's small arcs of lightning traveling between this storm elemental and Elsbeth's fingertips. Her eyes are lit up, just like Storm in X-Men.
What are you doing?
What is your voice?
Right.
Driving?
Driving.
Do you know how?
Of course I do. I wouldn't try it if I didn't.
I want to roll an insight on that.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll that.
$16.
All right. Yeah, Elspeth is actually kind of looking like she knows what she's up to, knows what she's doing. She's a high level of comfort, high level of confidence. It's kind of like that, that moment when the plumber starts banging on the pipes and busting out the tools, and you're kind of like, okay, they look like they know what they're doing, and you kind of like go back to your room and hope that everything's cool, but you're pretty sure.
I still don't entirely trust it.
Okay.
So I think Fist will stay in the room observing.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Elsbeth. We'll see if you can pull this off. You do see the train dock coming in, and there are essentially some guides. And right now, with the train, you've essentially kind of pulled the train into a manual mode where you kind of control the throttle and the brake. Let's see how well you pull this off. Give me we'll do a dexterity check on this. And there's this, it's just a situation where there's guides where you have to kind of stop the train. If you stop the train too soon before the guides, people will have to get off and they'll have to walk on dirt and, not on the platform. They'll have to kind of get up on the platform. Everything will kind of be out of alignment, luggage compartments, and everyone's just, really bad customer service. It's going to be kind of a rough day at the train station. If you pull the brake too late and, stop the train after these guides, the train will actually, there will be some kind of an impact where it will kind of smash into the housing of one of the bulkheads housings, or perhaps maybe the train administration building, and it will be an even worse day at the train station for everybody. It'll be a rough day there.
No
Let's
pressure,
see how
Elspeth.
well you do. All right.
So I gotta ask, can I apply this?
Windwright's intuition. You sure can.
Good, everyone. We now have a minimum roll possible of 5.
Okay.
Holy smokes.
Okay. All right.
That's a 21.
That's a 21. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Fist, you are entirely surprised at the skill and prowess of this party member, who seems to be an absolute champion train driver. You see this. You kind of look through one of the port windows, and you see the guides perfectly line up. It is as if the storm elemental itself pulled this off, but you saw it was in manual mode, and it's just this amazing. Everything kind of grinds to a halt, and the train just kind of slowly loses its hovering, its drift, as it comes down onto these pads, and the doors begin to open up, and people are beginning to exit the train.
How are those new gray hairs feeling?
Just a little bit, right? Yeah, Elizabeth, this is your moment to gloat. This is your moment to kind of turn around and be like, I can.
That's true. However, what should I roll for her to not get stuck being obsessed with the power here?
Right?
Is that a charisma check?
We can try a charisma check. We'll see how you do there.
I think is that a charisma check or a charisma save? What do you think?
Yeah, because it is a contest, isn't it? It's not a contested roll, but it is a challenge roll. Let's try a save. Let's see how well you do, because it feels pretty good. This is kind of a dream, sort of, for Elsbeth. It's a 10. All right, so it's kind of middle of the road. It's kind of like it's really hard to resist, not taking that in, but it's just that feeling like that video game you always wanted to play, or when you were a kid and you really wanted to ride that ride and you finally got to, or when your parents took you to the arcade and you had to play that one cool game, and you don't want to walk away from it, but you can. I mean, you do know it's kind of time to go, but you really want to come back.
She's too busy wrenching herself away then to gloat at this.
Mm-hmm. Huh. All right, and Fist, you can just kind of see the joy in Elsbeth's eyes. You don't normally see this kind of an expression in Elsbeth. She's just absolutely enamored with this contraption.
And the train.
And you get that feeling that maybe they missed the calling.
The train has stopped by now.
It has.
She's gonna be like, okay, I think that's enough. The train has stopped. We're at the station.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and the doors open up, and y'all are kind of, able to gather up your luggage, exit the train. So anything anybody else wants to do on this train before getting off?
Did I get my beer?
I'll revert back.
Mug.
How long has it been? I can be animal for a while.
It's been a good 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah. I'll keep sleeping.
Okay.
When people start busily going around us in the middle of the hallway, to disembark and things, I'll scramble up. Everything that I brought with me is on me. So I'm going to go to the one of the door to this particular train car, and just kind of greet everybody as they're departing. Like, you know, I hope you had a safe ride. Like, oh hey, it's you, Mr. Smith. I hope you enjoyed the train ride and things like that. My headcanon is that I know all the people. Not like personally know them all, but at least their names.
There you go.
And I'm just kind of like saying goodbye to everyone who disembarks, being all like friendly and jovial to people. It's a thing that's happening.
Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And I'm taking note of literally everyone who is disembarking. I know it's not everyone is going to disembark from this one place. Rude of them. But at least I can take a note of like who everyone was who's getting off the train here.
Okay. All right. So you're able to you're able to kind of store like images of people's faces and remember them, right? All that. Okay. Yeah, awesome. So so you're able to kind of pull that kind of filling that you know, taking in that, just establishing that database, I guess. Facial recognition. It's pretty sweet. So yeah, you just kind of see people and they're a little, you know, people are obviously a little bit jolted by what happened on board the train. They're happy to kind of move forward with their stuff. Some of them had worse experiences than others. Obviously, some of them dealt with it differently. Some of them might need therapy. Others are just kind of happy to make their way to the nearest pub and carry on with their lives. All right. So with that, you're able to kind of disembark and step off the train, right? Saffron asked for you all to well, actually, I'll have Fist relay what Saffron said to the characters.
Yeah, I mean, I already told Justice and Gilzath.
Okay.
I'm currently trying to get through to Elsbeth to stop being electric.
Right.
She's like,
She's not electric at this point, so you could probably just, you know, guide her away.
then yeah,
She's a little dazed from the experience.
I'll do that and like guide her out of the room, and once when we're out of the conductor's room, she'll be like, the City Watch wishes to meet with us all about what happened on the train at their headquarters.
Okay. Very cool. So yeah, reaching forward as the other quick details, reaching forward as you go to kind of place your hands on Elsbeth to guide her away from the contraption and off the train, is just this massive static shock. Like running around on shag carpet with the wrong shoes and then turning on and touching a doorknob. It's like, and Elsbeth, just about everything you touch for the next few minutes just gives you a little static touch or static shock. Stepping off of the train, right? So I'll read this from the from this adventure from this part of the adventure that I wrote. All right, so the sunlight begins to splinter into shattered rays emerging from behind tall buildings and towers in the Sovereign Ward neighborhood as the day begins to give way to early evening. Great airships of the dragon-marked House Lyrander hover above the city like giant tethered balloons against the sky on a windless day. You hear the bustle of the city around you, the shuffling of feet upon the stone pathways, the street vendors peddling their wares, the occasional passing of a lightning rail train of House Orion. I knew that when I wrote this. House Orion, with her attendants loudly calling out arrivals and destinations for her impatient passengers. As the day fades to dark, the streets and towers of the city are gradually cast in a warm illumination by countless magical contraptions carefully crafted by the mage rites of the city. Everbright lanterns, you heard a local passerby call them. Through the haze and the weariness of your long journey, the calming luminescence of the Everbright lanterns reminds you of where you are, Fairhaven, the city of lights. A short distance from the Lightning Rail docks, you arrive at your destination, sitting upon the ground level plot of grass, dirt. Okay, sorry. Do you want to go directly to the Sovereign Ward precinct of the Fairhaven City Watch?
So about that.
Yes.
Justice actually is here for a reason, and that reason is it is his turn to be with his daughter. So he is picking up his child at the train station and potentially taking a small child with him to the precinct.
Okay.
And
All right, then.
I need to make a quick stop at a sending station, and
Okay.
I just send off like a prepared letter.
Okay. You got it.
Oh,
I'm free.
Okay.
Did the train, after all of that, the train arrived late, didn't it?
It did arrive a bit late.
How late?
I think it was held up for a good hour, right? Maybe 2 hours.
Elspeth needs to make sure a message gets passed so her mother stops worrying.
Okay.
I'm not sure she's
Got it.
actually aware of that, though, at this point, because she's probably still all buzzed up.
Okay.
But whenever she
Right.
wakes up, she will need to do that.
All right. So yeah, literally buzzed up, right? Okay. So yeah, so you're able to access those sending stations and send those messages. Let's see. Justice picking up your daughter at the train station. You can bring in a token for that if you like.
I need to make one. Hello, I'll go do that.
Yeah. I'll have a map here once we get to the precinct. Okay. Yeah. Anything anybody else wants to do before reaching that? Before arriving at that precinct?
I'm just gonna tag along with Fist. She seems
Okay.
to be taking charge, and I'm in a very unfamiliar environment.
Okay. Yeah. Lots of commotion about you. It's kind of a busy city street. There's street vendors here and there. There's shops. There's restaurants, things like that. There's landscaping, stoneware, and these lights. These amazing lights everywhere. It's kind of cool.
Jason, I sent you a message of what what was the contents of the letter I sent.
Okay.
And before we left, like if we split apart to go do those small errands before coming back, because like I have every intention of going to the precinct with you. I just need to go do that real quick. I would establish a mental connection with at least one, like at least with Fist, if not Zalek too, if you want to.
Okay. All right. Fist and Zalek, you kind of feel that connection if you're there with Gilzaf.
Oh.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It is I. Your mind. You should buy Gilzaf a present at the nearest vendor.
There you go.
Motor oil.
Yeah, I'd be if they didn't know what was going on, I'd be so tempted to prank them with that. That'd be awesome. All right. Okay, so yeah, a short distance from the Lightning Rail docks, you arrive at your destination. Sitting upon a ground level plot of grass dirt, the Sovereign Ward precinct of the Fairhaven City Watch is a brick building with an arched entryway and stone-cut stairs. While most precincts in the city are larger, this one appears to be dedicated to administration and investigative operations. You each have in your possession a copy of a missive that was handed. Well, actually, we'll say that Fist has in your possession a copy of a missive of summons, which summons each of you and your party to an urgent meeting at Salfron's office at this late hour. Okay. All right, let me move to that map real quick. drag the players over. Okay. Like so. Feel free to go ahead and move in tokens if you would.
Assuming we're arriving on the east? The north side. There?
Yeah, north side. There's a set of stairs there that lead up to like an iron, a set of iron doors, kind of with like glass inlays and stuff. And there's a sign on the doors. It says Fairhaven City Watch. Which precinct did we decide this was? Sovereign Ward Precinct.
How did you guys get your tokens?
Go to the journal tab on the top right, and where you see your character, just drag them in.
That's not right.
And if there was a sending station like on the way to the precinct that I could have, because I would have written this missive that I was sending early, so it would take like just a minute or so. I would jog to keep up with you guys and just be there with you guys.
Okay.
I don't want to split the party.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Y'all bring in your tokens. I'll bring in my tokens. And your tokens will talk to my tokens.
Yeah.
And we'll have token lunch as a token of our tokenizing. Okay, almost there. One more token to
I accidentally
tokenize.
got out of roll 20. My bad.
Mhm. Like so. Okay. Good. Okay, yeah. When you're ready, you can step through the door.
Okie dokie. Step through the door.
Let me see.
Oh, let's see.
Hey, Jason, because
Yeah.
I'm not DM here, I just can't drag a random token onto the map, so I'm just going to send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, you bet.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Do better. Become DM.
As soon as I
No.
just log in as DM. Where's my reveal?
The secret is that B is actually the DM, and she's DMing Jason to be the DM.
That's right.
He's just doing
DMception.
A really good job.
DMception.
He's just doing a really good job of imitating Jason's voice.
Yeah, that's why her camera's off. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
I had no idea I was that good, but I'll take it. Let's go.
It's pretty great. Hang on a second. Let me open that and bring it in. Tia token.
Yep.
.png. I'll bring that up here. And I swear my reveal areas tool has disappeared.
Ooh.
Oh god, a small child has taken over.
Oh my god. I thought
Not
you said this was a small child.
very not
Not a ginormous
small
child.
child.
There you go. And then I should be able to give you control of this one. Justice.
You're going to have to go into the token setting. Oh, there it is. I can do it now.
Right. Like so? Okay. Okay, how do I reveal areas? Where's my reveal areas tool? It's disappeared.
Oh, it's still there. It's just somewhere weird.
There we go, reveal areas. Yep,
Yeah.
I got it.
They changed the token images the setting images and stuff.
Right. Okay.
Does anyone else still have a turn order on their screen?
Yeah, it's
Yep, me too.
Okay.
Yeah. And we can remove that if need be. Okay, let me see. Okay. So yeah. It opens up and you just kind of see this reception room, what looks like a large reception room. It's kind of getting into the evening, so there aren't many people on staff. You do see looks like an orc kind of sitting behind a desk. And he stands up and just kind of like says, "May I help you?" Doesn't look like he's expecting you.
I don't remember the guy's name, but I give him the guy's name and say,
Celpron.
what was it?
Celpron.
Cellprong.
Not
Sauron.
Sauron. I know it's not Sauron.
Yeah.
Elrond.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
And I
when
have
you
like a
hand that-
missive, right? Like I'll hand over the missive.
Yeah. He looks it over and then he looks. He kind of looks up and looks at the rest of you. And it says it'll be a moment. And he kind of speaks into like there's like a little there's something kind of glowing on his desk that's kind of like a portal and whatnot. And he kind of runs his hand through it. And it says a party is here to see you. Kind of communicates to something somewhere in the back office somewhere. And he said, and he kind of listens for a moment. He looks up at all of you and says, "It'll be just a moment."
Is this device attached to his desk?
Oh my god.
It's kind of like it looks like a glyph that's been kind of etched onto the desk on a stone area of the desk.
So if you took a saw around that glyph, it wouldn't be attached anymore? Just kidding.
You probably have to cut it out. Yeah. I'm not sure how you do that or not, but yeah, it'd be interesting. Actually, I found a description for this room. This 30 by 40 room serves as the primary intake for public visitors, official business, and non-combative suspects. The radiant heat of the magically powered hearth dominates the west wall, flanked on either side by comfortable padded chairs. The windows in the west wall are segmented with small glass panes lined with reinforced iron bars. The southeast corner of the room offers a comfortable waiting area with two padded chairs, a small table, and an assortment of reading materials on a wooden bookshelf. A gruff-looking warforged sits behind. He's a warforged, not an orc. A warforged sits behind the stone desk in the northeast corner. Sorry, it's been a while since I've ran this. Yeah, the desk is covered with books and paperwork. Okay. So yeah, he invites you all in and says, "Make yourselves comfortable. It'll be just a few moments." And he kind of motions for each of you to kind of maybe take a seat or kind of wait and walk around a little bit, explore the room if you like.
I'm going to come up to the desk, which is probably like here. And I'm going to. Hi.
Right. And kind of looks, and he kind of, and his eyes just kind of looking in, and it's kind of like that, maybe like a fellow construct kind of moment, though he doesn't say that out loud.
Exactly.
And just kind of says hello. Mm-hmm.
What's your name?
What is his name? I am Officer Gilgrim. I'm one of the administrators here.
Working late? Your shift almost over? How's the day been? I don't know. I'm making conversation. I make conversation with the officer.
There you go. You bet. Let's see. He seems friendly enough. He makes kind of polite conversation back, but then kind of motions, drops the hints that he'd like to get back to work, as he's kind of got a mountain of paperwork on his desk. He says, there are a number of magazines and local publications for you all to enjoy in the waiting area.
I'm gonna go enjoy the magazines.
Okay.
Also, I just want it to be in real life that I can just go up to a person and say, "Hey, I make small talk with you."
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool,
And
actually.
that'd be the actual small talk.
That'd be kind of cool. That'd be really easy, huh?
Is that all it takes to freaking talk to people? Oof.
Yeah.
I've been doing it wrong my whole life.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Just walk out. I'd be like, I'd like to make small talk with you, but I'm unskilled at such an activity. Can you help me?
Hey, my friend.
Right.
I rolled a 1 on small talk, but it's happening right now.
Right. All right. It's good. They kind of want to shoo you away, and they kind of point to the back where there's, as you look back, there's a shelf back there with like magazines and publications and whatnot, including
I'm going
books.
to go browse them and take note of all of their titles. Ooh, books. All of the book
Uh-huh.
titles.
They are
You don't
here.
have to give them, but I'm going to take note of them.
Sure. Roll a d6. Sorry, d10.
Oh, D10. Ooh. That's not even. I don't even have one of those out.
Uh-huh.
Where am I? Oh, here, there. A D10 looks like that. I
Mhm.
rolled a 3.
Okay. You pull a book called Fairhaven, A Tourist Guide, and it's covered with all kinds of. It's covered with all kinds of. It's chock full of everything and anything there is to do in Fairhaven.
I'm gonna start reading it. While we wait.
Okay. Good. Anybody else want to check the bookshelf?
Yes, is there the equivalent of highlights for kids?
I might have to roll for it.
What would you like, investigation?
Sorry, D10, please.
Oh, just a straight D10? Sure.
Yeah, it's a table.
10 out of 10. Look at that.
Nice.
Oh. Okay. You pull a book called Low Altitude Loving, Unlocking the Passion in Your Dwarven Lover.
Definitely give that
Let's
to your small
not
child.
give that. Although I'm gonna roll with this, so he'll pick this book up from the shelf. It's probably got a nice, pretty cover, and he's gonna go, "How about?" Oh no! And he'll quickly replace that one on the shelf.
Sure. Okay. I can spend any time reading that one, huh? That's too bad.
Does that mean
Okay.
Elspeth finds the same one?
If you're kind of paying attention to what's happening there, you definitely see what was pulled. Yeah.
Well, she was also looking for a kid's book because she was going to hand it to Justice.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, you can peruse the shelf, rolling a d10, or you can have a look at the one that Justice pulled.
That whole shelf is just dwarven.
I rolled a d10 and it was a 10, just like
Okay.
Justice had. So.
Alrighty. Since that one was there, it's a copy of Low Altitude Lovin', Unlocking the Passion in Your Dwarven Lover. And it's chock full of good information about that. And you have a sense that if you were to read that, you would probably pick up some pretty cool skills.
Hey, Fist.
Actually,
I found a book for you.
Since
Since that
everyone
was up-
else is pulling stuff from the shelf, I'll go up and pull one too at random.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll pull the ones that have been.
I got a
I'll
5.
remove the ones that are already in there. Okay.
I
The
think
5.
Elspeth will actually leaf through that, by the way.
Okay.
Mostly because she
Alrighty.
wants to determine if she should hand it to Gilsaf.
Okay. You got it.
I am a
All right,
low
so-
altitude person.
There you go.
Yeah.
On a 5, you pull a book called The Law and You, Navigating the Pitfalls of Incarceration. And it's kind of looks like it's a law. It's written by an attorney of sorts who can help you out should you be incarcerated. However, the book Low Altitude Lovin', thumbing through that, you actually kind of pick up some pretty sweet skills on a pretty quick. It's kind of a cheaply kind of smutty written book, but it does teach you some things that you might not have been aware of. Who read that just now? That was
Elspeth?
Elsbeth. Add 1 to your persuasion skill. Add a +1 bonus to your persuasion skill.
Like
Nice.
with dwarves specifically or in general?
It's kind of a general thing. Go ahead and run that.
Not sure how I feel about that.
There you go. All right. Anybody else curious about the bookcase?
No, but I will approach the Warforged ?
Uh-huh. Warforged.
And
Yep.
I will gesture to the child who I am placing in the sea. 1 second.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to say, do you have anything that will occupy that one over there? I can't exactly give her the low altitude lovin' book.
Hmm. He kind of leans up over the desk, looking at the child, uh, and asks her, "Do you like airships?"
She's an NPC, Jason. I don't know how you want this to go. So,
Okay. Yeah, but she's your NPC. Does she like airships?
let's higher load this on my end. 1 second.
Uh-huh.
If she likes trains, I know someone she could talk to.
Yeah.
Planes, trains, and
Right.
automobiles. No, she's going to nod from the chair, kind of silently looking at all the weirdos that apparently are hanging out here at the police station.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I like airships.
There you go.
Thank you, Beluga.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Okay. Some
I
rad
think we
voice
just
acting.
met Beluga's backup character.
There you go. He reaches down under the desk and comes out with a book that says "Liftoff." It's titled "Liftoff: Airships and the History of Elemental Flight."
Yeah, I'll probably do.
It's chock full of pictures. Right?
Even better.
Ooh,
say,
big
go.
words.
So yes, I'll be reading to my child while you degenerates are busy reading about low altitude lovin' over there.
That's a single degenerate. Thank you.
Mommy,
Yep. Apparently.
Daddy, I want to read that book.
What does cunnilingus mean?
Oh no!
Oh wow. Big words. Right. The rest of the books on the shelf are Thaumaturgy, The Prankster's Handbook, Fairhaven Tourist Guide, Let's Hug It Out, The Warrior's Guide to Compassion, and you hear the other ones. The Lot in You, Navigating the Pitfalls of Incarceration.
You
And of
said
course,
the
Low
Warriors.
Altitude Lovin'.
You said the Warrior's Guide to Compassion, right? Not the Warrior's Guide
Yes.
to Passion.
Right. The Warrior's Guide to Compassion.
Okay.
Oh,
We're not sure how that other book got in there. Within a few minutes, the door opens up, and let me see. Grab my reveal tool. Reveal all areas. The door opens up, and you see what looks like an elven woman step through that doorway. And she says, "We're ready for you," and motions for each of you to step in.
Vince,
And,
what exactly are we doing here again?
I'm not really sure. They just wish to meet with us.
But this
Yeah.
isn't the person who was on the ship, right? I don't recognize this person.
No, this
It's not.
it's not.
I think she's the precinct leader, or they're taking us to the precinct leader. If I had to guess,
Right.
the book is
She's
missing.
obvious- Yeah, and she's obviously an officer with the City Watch. That's pretty high ranking. Probably something in investigations or detective or whatnot. But her appearance is just kind of piercing. I guess the best way to describe it. Just kind of just has absolute poise. Professional looking, I guess, and looks like she could definitely handle her own. You kind of get the sense. I mean, there are weapons strewn about her personage, but she looks very capable. Gilzap.
As a rogue, I feel kind of shifty. We're going to go meet some cop at the cop place. Is there any indication that I've gotten at all that we are in any sort of trouble?
No.
Like, guys,
Yeah. I mean, you know that feeling, right? Sometimes it's like, oh, I need to kind of be careful what I say. You start asking questions like, am I being detained? Have I broken the law? Am I free to go? You don't really get that. You don't really pull that kind of vibe at all at this point. It looks like this meeting's pretty. This is pretty. This is a formal invitation, an invite, an asking to meet. Whoever it is here that's behind this, they need your help.
Are you
Let's see.
you legally have to tell me.
Right?
I know my rights. Get me my lawyer.
That's right.
I want my phone
Yep,
call.
yep. That's right. You'll not be locking this one up. Stepping into the
No.
room.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Uh,
casually like I took it out of my pocket, just casually put it back in my pocket, my new book,
Mhm.
and walk into the room with everyone.
All right. Yeah, good. Go ahead and move your tokens where you want to be.
Which book did Gilzaf pilfer?
The tour guide.
Oh, okay. Because Elsbeth was not
because
putting
you were
low
reading
altitude love and back yet. She was just gonna keep going with it.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
Yeah, I figured. The tour guide sounds like it's got all of the cool hotspots.
Yep. Yeah, all the cool water parks and the pancake houses. It's got the whole list. It's pretty sweet. And you can just check
International House
the.
of Fairhaven? What?
That's right.
I thought.
International House of Fairhaven Pancakes. High Pop. That's right. There you go. And you just check the publish date, and it's pretty recent. You're thinking these places are still open. There's a good chance. All right.
All the nightlife around town.
Right. Sorry, as you entered the room, the elven woman introduces herself as Mystere. She says, "I'm Mystere," and she belts off a rank, but I forget what it is. But she kind of indicates it's just kind of a high-ranking officer within the City Watch, like a special investigations division or a detective agency. And then Salfron sits behind a desk. He's got this kind of a mountain of paperwork in front of him. He kind of looks up and he stands up and says, "Welcome, friends. Thank you for meeting. Please take a seat." And he sits down and sits back and kind of settles back into his chair. Mystere kind of takes a position by the window, and you can tell. Let me see. Xylek and Fist. The two of you can definitely tell that Mystere is taking a position of security. It's like a strategic, she's definitely combat parking. She's kind of by the window. She's glancing out the window a little bit. She's guarding, maybe guarding Salfron. Although Salfron looks like he can hold his own. She's just kind of like she's definitely like almost like taking that position. Like if anything were to happen, she's prepared to spring into action. She's prepared to handle her own.
Are these gold or yellow sections windows?
They're windows. They're small. They're secure windows. They look like they have a kind of iron bars that kind of go through them in kind of like a decorative order. It'd be very difficult to for a medium-sized creature to break through them. They're secure windows, but they're also kind of beautiful.
So, taking note of this, I forgot her name already.
Mystere.
Mystere. Taking note of her observation and the body language. I'm gonna go up to one of the windows and keep an eye out as well.
Okay.
If they're on edge, then I get the feeling we should be on edge then.
Okay.
So I'll
Good.
take a look.
All right.
Probably make
So, yeah,
a
and
perception check or something to see if there is anything amiss or
okay.
strange to look out
Yeah.
for.
Give me do a quick perception check.
That's only 12.
Okay.
Is there anybody
All right,
here
so
with giant eyes?
Nobody has giant eyes. Thankfully. Yeah. So you kind of get a sense that with you taking that position of kind of combat parking like that, Mystere and Salfron have taken note that you've taken that kind of taken that same stance, that you're kind of matching that vibe. You can tell that they see that, they are aware of that. Salfron kind of lets out a sigh and kind of puts his hands together on his desk and says, "Tell me what you all experienced on the train."
I already recounted my
Okay.
experiences if anyone else
Mhm.
wishes to go.
Okay.
Although I may be polite to the front desk worker, when it comes to being questioned by cops, I do in fact shut the fuck up
Okay.
because I'm a rogue. So
Right.
I'm in the corner. Shut the fuck
Yep.
up.
Yep. Okay. You got it. Yep. Yep. All right. Yeah, and you feel pretty secure there that no one's gonna what you're not saying and then what you're telling with body language or with presence. You feel pretty secure that you're keeping what needs to be concealed. Mm-hmm. Zyla?
I'll speak to the group. It'll be my experience with the train is pretty similar to what Fiss had described. The passengers were taken over during the investigation, and some sort of unnatural entity or force had possessed their spirits and caused them to be quite dangerous and threatening to us investigators, I guess we'll call ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And upon dealing with them, they burst into this ethereal form.
Ahem. Not all of them.
Well, that's true, actually. Yes, that's one of our members, and I gesture over to Justice. They were briefly possessed by the same spirit, but we were able to exorcise that demon.
I'm gonna
out.
Mm-hmm.
put both hands
Okay.
on my child's ears so that they don't hear the nitty gritty, and then I will say, "Right, I'm just sorry. I got yeah, it was almost like there was a voice in my head saying, what was it? Kill them, kill your friends, or something like that."
Mm-hmm.
That's me asking you, Jason.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. They were saying, the voice that commanded you, it said these two are interfering, referring to your fellow party members. Kill them.
Ah, thank you. It was almost like it had some sort of plan or something like that, like it was directing some sort of operation. It said that these two is going to gesture with his elbow toward Gilzaf and toward Xylek. He's going to say, those two are interfering, kill them, but they knocked some sense back into me. So considering I didn't explode, I don't think it's a universal thing.
Okay. And he kind of starts writing some stuff down, taking notes. And he kind of exchanges glances with Mystere, and then kind of looks back and says, "Did you say when these people broke open, you said you saw something emerge?"
Yes. It was kind of like swamp gas. Have you ever been to a swamp? Kind of like that, but it had these piercing blue eyes that seemed to almost look right through me. The lady in charge, or at least supposedly had the main hand in this whole possession. She was even able to affect my magical capabilities. It's very, very strange, very, very odd. Never experienced anything like that. But yeah, they all shared that same individual characteristic, these large, piercingly blue eyes. Spirits, not the people themselves. Spirits.
Yeah. All right. And then the first time you mentioned piercing blue eyes, you notice a change in Mystere. Mystere kind of reacts to that for what you said. I mean, not like a whoa, what's that? But she just kind of changes her stance a little bit, as if reacting to what's being said, just kind of moving to the rhythm of the conversation. But the change piece was piercing blue eyes. And
Can I insight from my corner?
uh-huh. Yeah.
Because I may not be talking, but I'm paying attention. I
Right.
got 19.
Okay. Yeah. Insight on Monsieur?
Yeah, Mysteer's like reaction to that.
I'd
Yeah.
also like to do
Okay.
that.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll that up as well. Feels up at a 19.
I think mine's only a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's kind of it's not real difficult to discern, but it's kind of like they're just kind of reacting to that information. They're kind of there's a concern that is raised. They're trying very hard and they're good at it at keeping a poker face about what's happening. But you detect a bit of concern in their countenances. And after a while, after listening and thinking carefully, Salfron speaks up and says, "Well, here's the position that I'm in right now. My job is to keep the peace in the city. My job is to, obviously, keep people safe, which I try to do to the best of my ability. But something is happening here that is beyond my ability, beyond the ability of my people, and I need somebody whose skill sets fall outside of that box. Individuals like yourselves." He brings up he reaches into the desk and brings out some papers and he kind of lays them out in front of you. And he says, 4 months ago, an up-and-coming merchant named Gorman Utali opened up a unique magic item shop at the top of Commerce Tower in Fairhaven. The shop is called Gorman Utali's Interplanar Emporium of Arcane Wonders. Have fun trying to write that down. Don't worry about it. I'll copy and paste it. Right? His most popular item is called the Lucidia Stones. These stones apparently mass-produced allow a person to control their dreams as they sleep. That's all well and good. They're very popular and apparently very fun to use. But in recent weeks, a number of disturbing occurrences have taken place throughout the city. Individuals who would otherwise be unlikely to commit crime have committed murder, theft, vandalism, experienced psychotic episodes, and even lost their minds entirely. The only common factor in each of these incidents, is that each of these individuals in question were regular users of the Lucidia Stones. My staffing's already stretched thin. I'm unable to use my own personnel for this investigation, so I've been authorized to resort to hiring adventurers, such as yourselves. I'd like for you to investigate these strange incidents, determine if they're indeed connected. I'm willing to negotiate payment. I'll be happy to provide leads for the investigation and resources if necessary, including background information and locations. What do you say?
Well, I kind of feel like I have a bit of a conflict of interest right now, and I'm going to point downwards at the seat.
Mm-hmm.
So, unless you want a junior Fairhaven detective, I'm not really quite sure how to do this because I have a legally binding custody arrangement and a really scary ex-wife. So,
Mm-hmm.
Junior agent reporting for duty.
There you go. That's perfect.
It's really not so bad, Justice. I mean, we simply don't give the child a share of the payment. Or if you want to think about it that way, you can keep her share.
I will be right back. I have to go do something real quick.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding this. You are proposing that I take her with us.
I am not. She's a child. Is there a safe place for her to stay in the city?
No, the safest place for her to be is in the Eldine Reaches, which is actually where I was heading before this. So either I do not go or she tags along and I stick around to the slightly safer parts of this investigation. He will smile tuskily.
Mm-hmm.
Tuskily.
Right. And he says, well, that's obviously a complication. We do have safe housing. We have daycare and night care if necessary. But with regards to your ex, we have legal resources available that can make things favorable for you if you'll help us out.
We could play it by ear for now, but I just wanted to, get the tiny elephant in the room out there in the open. Why do you look like you're about to say something else, Beth?
I was just thinking she could go stay with my mother.
Yeah, I don't know your mother, and this is not necessarily a discussion that needs to happen amongst these two. Tia, honey, keep reading. He's gonna say she looks up.
Yeah, you bet. All right. Yeah, and he kind of leaves it at that and says we can play it by ear for now. I'm prepared to offer your party 1,000 gold if you can help us out. Able to discover the cause of these incidents, determine that they are connected, and find out whatever is causing it.
That's 1,000
Total?
each, correct?
Or a piece?
1,000 gold for the party.
Total. All right.
Oh.
I mean, I can use 200 gold. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but
Elspeth is clearly looking like, oh.
Meanwhile, Justice is very excited about 200 gold.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay. You feel that that's too little?
Well, I've worked
That's the most amount of money I've heard in my life.
at the behest of House Lyrandar. I have responsibilities that would have to go to other servants of the house, as there are storm spires and airships and that sort of thing that have to be attended to, and only the marked, and at this point she very blatantly brushes back hair, but is really just stroking where the evidence of her dragon mark is on her face. Well, there's only so many scions of the house that can attend to certain specific duties. In addition to the fact that I did have to drive a train into the station from House Orion.
Did you have to, actually?
There was no driver because someone murdered him and they didn't replace him when they took the bodies.
I understand the train was on autopilot.
See? All right, I knew something was up there.
You trust the elemental to stop on its own? There's a reason they put drivers on these trains in the first place. It's not so that the elementals can do whatever they want.
Well, it's not my field of study, but my people told me it was being handled. But this is beside the
It
point.
was. By me.
Would 1,500 work?
You're still not meaning each, correct?
No. Unfortunately, that is for the party.
Well, she will look at everyone else.
Yeah, it's fine by me.
Has the most poker face, but shakes his head.
Okay.
Yeah, that works for me.
Elspeth very specifically does not look in Fist's direction because she's going to assume that Fist would do this for free out of a sense of obligation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fist even says, I have to discuss it with the queen, but I believe she'll appreciate having ears to the ground on this situation.
Okay. And he looks over at Mystere, and they kind of just have this moment. They kind of linger in eye lock or whatever, linger in that gaze for a moment, and until eventually, finally, she nods, and he looks back. He says, "All right then, I can go as high as 2,000 for your party."
Well, that seems fair, I suppose.
Yeah.
Don't you agree? And she looks at Gilzef.
Gilzef gives a thumbs up, but then hesitates for a second and says, "Now, is that per diem?"
It's for yeah. He kind of indicates that that's the entire package.
Oh yes, that does bring to mind the daily necessities, doesn't it?
Let me see
Or
here.
is there an initial, because we were asked to do the investigation on the train as well. So that would, I should think, provide sort of a down payment assistance to make sure that everyone is well taken care of in the city.
We'll give you access to our equipment and our resources. You'll have whatever you might need.
Well, what we need is beds, comfortable beds, not guard beds, you know?
Sure, we can find you a place to stay. I'm sure there's. I'm sure we can find adequate accommodation. I'm sure we can find accommodations that will suit your liking.
I'll see if I can pull some strings as well.
Yeah.
Elspeth is doing this just out of a sense of being kind of shitty because she can go stay at her house at the guild house for free.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Gildoff just wants to give the cops a hard time. It's fine.
Yep. Good. 2,000 for the 2,000 plus access to equipment, accommodations as needed. He leans over a little bit and locks eyes with Gilzaf. Does that work for you, Rogue?
Gildoff is not going to nod or shake his head because you know what? That's an admission, and he's not going to give it.
Smart. I like that one. We'll keep an eye on it.
Oh shoot!
Very cool. All right, then we're in agreement.
Yeah.
Fist will reach across the table to shake their hand.
Okay. All right. So he then kind of shares. Upon the shake, he begins to share information. He has locations, and he describes different situations that happen in each of these locations. And we can actually get into that as it is 7:44 on my clock, quite a bit later on the East Coast. So, but we can get into the details. But he begins to share information about each of these individuals, these cases that have happened, and these and the details that surrounds them. He also shares the location of Gordon Utali's shop and recommends that you check that place out as well. But yeah, and with that, we can dig into the details possibly in 2 weeks. We'll decide if we want to do that or if we want to flip back to Crystal Strahd. We will let you know. With that, I'll turn the time back over to our gracious host.
Yes, so we will figure out within the next 2 weeks which campaign we are doing, whether we're going to wrap up Strahd or move on to this campaign. Tune in tomorrow at around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Rise of the Rune Lords as we finish up Foxglove's Manor. And next Thursday, March 14th, we will be concluding Falcon's campaign over the Underdark. With that, I am Beluga, your guildmaster here at the Role Players Guild, and I play Fist, the dwarf barbarian monk hybrid. To you, Falcon, and this is your warning, Laura.
So I'm Falcon, as you know, and I'm playing Xylek, the nature druid, stars cleric. Nature cleric, stars druid, lizard folk. Laura, it's up to you.
Hey, I'm Laura. I'm playing Gilzaf, and I'm not telling you anything else without my lawyer present. And it's Bee's turn.
Well played, Laura. I'm B. I play Justice, and apparently a 6-year-old as well, Tia. And he is a half-orc paladin of the crown. And I need to eat something, so I'm just going to pass this over to Scott. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Tia.
I'm Bee's spouse, and I play Elspeth, who is, I'll say she's a bitch, but she's not none. And if y'all thought it was a good time with her trying to get away from the lightning rail engine, wait till you see what happens if she's trying to not kill people with lightning for real.
Ooh.
And on that note, have fun, Jason.
That's not foreboding.
There you go. Yeah, it is. I look forward to it. Absolutely. Yes, once again, thank you all so much for playing. I'd be excited to get into this adventure, and we will circle back here in just 2 short weeks. Right?
All right.
Yes.
Cool.
All right, everyone.
All right.
Thank you for joining, and we hope to see you tomorrow night for some Rune Lords. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.